Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday. Wow, June 22nd, 22 days of the Upgrade My Life experience. And I want to say I am so proud of all of us and you guys don't mind me, I'm always looking around for different things, but I want to surprise all of you, first of all, by saying thank you so much. We're going to announce our $100 Amazon gift card winner by the end of June. So I want to say thank you for all of you who put your comments. You let me know, Dr. D, I have been tuning in. Thank you for everyone who takes time to be a part of the International Women Build Confidence Conference. It has been an amazing time. And I want to thank you because it's not easy to simply say, I can and I will upgrade my life. It's not easy to show up every single day to get your focus together and begin to move forward. But many of you have, and I want to say thank you for that. And all throughout the Upgrade My Life experience, since we began, we have covered so many different topics. We've talked about the things that hold us back. We've talked about what's going to help us to move forward. We've talked about clearing out the clutter. We talked about all these things that either detract us from reaching our goals or help us towards reaching our goals. And I want to say, welcome, welcome, welcome to day 22. Can you believe it? Can you believe that just 22 days ago, we started the Upgrade My Life experience? And it takes 21 days to create a habit. So imagine we are on day 22. So thank you so much for tuning in. Good morning to you. How are you guys feeling? Good morning, Nikisha. Good morning, Sandra. Good to see you guys. Where are you streaming in from? And I have our wonderful theme for us today, and it's surprise yourself and set a date. Woo! Surprise yourself and set a date. Now, sometimes when we are thinking about really transforming our lives, we have to put a date on it. Just like we put an expectation on a relationship we're in, where we say, hey, what is this relationship? Are we still in the dating phase? Are we getting serious? Are we, official? And, you think about that. Or when you're at a job and the job hires you for a temporary, but then there's a moment when there's that transition and it's no longer just a temporary. They make a decision. Are we going to really have you, or are we going to just keep you, or are we going to let you go? So we have to then look at all these goals we've been working on, and we've got to surprise ourselves by putting a date to it. Can you put that? I'm going to put a date to some of these goals. Now, some of our goals, depending upon how large they are or how small they are, you really want to have some realistic timelines, right? So I can't say I want to lose 60 pounds and I'm going to lose it tomorrow. That would not be realistic. But I could start to say, you know what? I'm going to set a date. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set a date just to be intentional. So you guys already did that. If you've been showing up, good morning. How are you, y'all? I'm just going in. I've got a busy schedule, so I got to keep it moving. So good morning. Happy to see you. Let me know where you're streaming in from. Thank you for being a part of the UPML experience. We'll be showcasing these all throughout our social media platforms, and I appreciate all of you. But we've got to surprise ourselves. Like, what would happen if you said, no, next month, at the end of the month, I do plan on having an additional $500, or 2 months from now, I do plan on having more clarity. So you've got to surprise yourself and set a date. No date, there's no opportunity to surprise yourself because you have not made it clear that this is what you're aiming for. And sometimes you don't completely get that goal exactly by the date you set. But when you say to yourself, oh no, in 30 or 60 days, I'm going to be able to get to this level, and you put that at your excuse me, and you put that out there, then you are giving yourself permission to say, I'm not going to just stay where I'm at. So can you just continue to say, I will upgrade my life. I'm not going to keep staying here. Even when I act like I have it all together, I know there are things that I can still work on. So all of us have things that we can still work on, things that we have to clear up, things that we still have to look at and say, I still need to be focused on this very goal. I still need to be even more intentional. And the harder the goal is, that's how much the focus needs to be so much more clearer. So you've got to be willing to look at all these notes you've been taking and then saying, you know what, I am going to surprise myself. I'm going to put a date to this. right? So it's one thing to wake up and watch a wonderful motivating video, and it's one thing to go to a conference or even go and listen to a coach or whatever it might be. It's another thing to turn everything off, open up your journal and say, okay, self, you know what? I've been talking this all this time. I've been saying I need to make more money. I've been saying I need to do X, Y, and Z. You know what? I need to put a date on it. And when we do that, we might just surprise ourselves. And I understand that because when I was a new business owner, just the thought of being able to say, oh my goodness, I want to charge for the services that I provide, that was enough, right? And then realizing, you know what? Whether it was a new contract, whether it was a new negotiation, whether it was something else I was trying or whatever, putting date to things sets things in motion. So even when you don't feel like you have it all together, go ahead, I challenge you, and put a date to it. I want you guys to let me know how you have been enjoying the Upgrade My Life experience. Let me know where you've been streaming in from. What have you been doing? How have you been seeing wins in your own personal and professional lives? I've seen many of you taking walks outside to upgrade your health and wellness. I've seen many of you talking to me about how you're journaling, and some of you have gone back to school. I'm seeing so many things on this platform and on others. I'm seeing so many of you say, hey, that's it. You know what? I'm tired of holding myself back. So many of you are doing great things. Some of you actually need to slow down and not do too much and actually say, I actually need to say no in the next couple of weeks. I actually need to just actually hear myself. So I'm enjoying this 30 days experience. And I look forward also to having a moment of rest. I look forward to also having a moment of clarity, but I also look forward to continuing the conversation. So you're going to want to stay tuned. When UPML is over, you're going to want to stay tuned for how we transition and how we're going to keep this discussion going forward. I love it. I've got to remain focused on my goals. It's funny you mentioned this because the sermon I watched yesterday spoke of the storm. When my storms come, I would slow down or quit. But pastor says, even during the storm, keep working. Now I will keep working and put a date on it. I love it. I've been able to gather my thoughts and clarify what I really want. If you have a dream or goal out a date, put a date on it. In my Beyonce voice. I love it. In your Beyonce voice, put a date on it, put your name on it, get that vision board, put some dates to some of those things. But yeah, and one of the hardest things is kind of like getting over those past failures, right? And getting over, I used to be so productive. In the last 4 years, I haven't been so productive. It's okay to wipe the slate clean. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm tired. And it's okay to actually stop. So it's okay, just like we did in one of our sessions where I said it's actually okay to set a date to just be still, to not actually do anything, to actually turn everything off so that you can then be very clear about what it is that you intend to do. So there's a lot that we have covered. We also talked about how there's opportunity around you everywhere to do many things. And then lastly, we talked about all of the free things you could be doing right now just to upgrade what you're doing, like reading books and talking to people that can help to fuel you and not drain you. There are a lot of things you can do starting today. So what are some of the things you're going to continue to do as you begin to move forward? That would be one of my questions. How are you going to surprise yourself? And what date do you think you're going to put down by what goal? I would love to know. So good morning to all of you again for tuning in to this live stream. I appreciate you all. And we're talking about why it's important to surprise ourselves. Now let's talk about it. Research shows that when you are focusing on persisting, that once you are able to see that you have accomplished a given task, you're more likely to continue in that task. So what you want to do is when you think about that goal, you want to be so clear about it. You want to put some realistic dates by it. And if you and you really want to be able to say, wow, if I reach this goal, here's how I'm going to celebrate. So once you reach a small goal, don't forget rather to celebrate that moment, celebrate the wins that you have, celebrate the fact that you've been waking up every single day for the last 21 days just to meet with me and upgrade my life. But you know what? In order for you to sustain that, you're going to have to create your own unique habits. You're going to have to take yourself seriously, as we mentioned before, and say, oh no, these are the goals that I am going to stick to no matter what. I'm going to stick to this goal like Velcro. So today I'm going to share with you an excerpt really from my book, Tomorrow Can't Wait. And I'm looking at blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at page 52 in my book called Step It Out Alone. So sometimes when you're putting a date to it and you're really getting clear about your goal, there are going to be opportunities for you to just say, oh, forget it. Or there'll be opportunities where people may not understand this new goal you have, and you have to stay committed. So in this chapter, Step It Out Alone, I talk about how when I was a young girl, I was a part of this dance troupe. And at the beginning, you normally you would go and you would show up and you would rehearse so that you would be ready for the next performance. But on this one particular day, on this one particular day, I showed up and my dance partner wasn't there. And I was so sad that my partner wasn't there because I was so excited about our new moves that we were working on. And I was excited about the upcoming show we had. And so because she wasn't there, I just said, oh, well, she's not here. And I took my backpack and I was getting ready to leave. And my coach said, so where are you going? And I said, well, I guess she's not here. So why should I keep practicing? And he said, oh no, if she's not here, that doesn't mean you stop practicing. You do what you need to do, even if your partner is not there. So I want to say this. So sometimes you're starting out in a new goal and you're so pumped up, and you might have told a number of people and they might say, hey, I'm with you on this. And then you keep going. And as you're on that journey, they jump off the train and you realize, oh my goodness, what do I do? That person, those people or whatever, I thought they were going to be there. They're not there. So what do I do? I want to say, as the chapter says it, sometimes you have to step it out alone. Sometimes when you are putting a date to things and you're like, oh no, this is what I'm really committed to. Sometimes, you're just like that eagle we talked about. Eagles can soar alone. And in the beginning, when you're doing something different, sometimes you are just there and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm seeing my own reflection. What does this actually mean? So don't be afraid sometimes when you have to just say, okay, I saw you on my right. I saw you on my left, and now it's time for me to keep moving. I'll see you at the next stop. I'll see you on the next circle back, but I need to keep moving. You got to have that real committed attitude that says, no, I need to get to this date, this goal I have. And, we look at athletes and we can see that. We look at Olympians and we can see that dedication and that commitment. You have to be more committed to these things you're saying you are committing to beyond anybody else. So if this is good, give me some hearts. Let me know, Dr. D, you are zoning in. You have to be more committed than you even expected to get the result that you really, really say you want. Some of you need to be more committed to just finding ways to rest. Some of you need to be more committed to your commitment. And some of you need to be committed to just saying, no, I'm going to be happy. I mean, some of these things, the most expensive things in life are free, right? Having the peace of mind, having clarity of purpose, having the ability to go to sleep, having the ability to just take the sun in and to feel healthy and vibrant. These things are super important to you feeling like, I can do this. I'm vibrant. I have the energy. I'm okay. I have to sleep clean. I got to keep going. I'm putting a date to it. Put a date on it. Put a date on it. So what are things going to look like 30 days from now? What are you going to be eating? If health and wellness is your thing, what are you going to be eating 30 days from now? If making more income, making more streams, you can not only buy into what you're watching on the news, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, we were losing jobs before COVID. We were losing, we were having issues before this. That's just a part of life. It rains on us all. So the question then becomes, what are we going to do about it, right? So if I knew how to bake cakes and that was all I knew to do, and I was laid off, guess what? I'd be baking the heck out of cakes. I'd be driving down the street and giving you those cakes, right? I would be thinking, what can I do to get I know I love making cakes. So what can I do to surprise people? Because I know people are still needing to celebrate. I'm I'm gonna bake them cakes and drive down the road. I'm a social distance, but I'm gonna give you this cake and I'm gonna charge you this for it. I mean, we're gonna have to think so creatively, and we cannot let the news be our only news. You've got to start telling yourself different news about how to keep yourself motivated. Come on, y'all. I want to hear. I want to see some chats. I need you and I and all of us to stay in motion. I need you and me, all of us, to stay in motion. I need you to sleep. I need to sleep. I need you to rest. I need to rest. And you see, that whole duality of the motion, of staying in motion, is going to be critical to your success, even in the most difficult times. And you all are warriors. I mean, look at what you've already been through. Look at how you're still standing. Look at how you had things go on and you didn't even know you were going to be okay. And you're still standing now. So give yourself some heart, some smiley face. Let me know, Dr. D, oh my goodness, this is really great today. Yes, get on it. Get on it. I believe that you will make strides. Good. I see you guys supporting each other. I had to go over my list of projects and see what was important and what I can let go and what I can come back and pick up where I left off. I have to stay in motion. Yes. Now, you don't want to be doing everything because you can't do everything or you'll be overwhelmed and you'll freeze up. But what you want to do is you just want to look, okay, here we are. Next month is already half year point. And we've had so many things shift and shake us. Honestly, we've had so many things shift and shake us that now I say, shake it back, right? So it's been shaking you and, things have been going on. COVID is going on. It's still happening. We're socially distancing. We've got the news going on. We've got Black Lives Matter going on. We've got discussions about diversity. We've got a lot going on. And then we also have to think about, how does this all relate to me? How does this relate to me? How can I move forward? What am I going to do in the next half of the year? What do I want it to look like? Could I start my own book? Could I start my business? Could I start clarifying my brand and who I am and how I want to introduce myself to those that I want to help? We've got a lot. And I want to say thank you to all of you who've taken steps to be in coaching. Thank you for all of you who signed up and did something different. Thank you to all of you who've been a part of discovery calls. And you know what? I appreciate you. So at the end of this UPML experience, we are going to gift somebody a $100 Amazon gift card. So we can't wait. For those of you who've been very active, supportive, sharing your growth, commenting, we want to be able to support you. And so we will announce that at the end of the month. And I can't wait to announce who that's going to be, because you need to celebrate your wins. So I want to thank all of you for being a part of this. 30 days from now, I intend to be working on my next level goals and not doing the same thing this month. Good. Shook and shake them back. Yes, you are heading in the right direction. Keep it moving. Yes. So you want to be able to just say, 6 months from now, where will I be? Who will I be around? What will I be saying? What are the things I will be consistently working on? And you have to also be patient, because some things take longer to get over. Now, you have to think of it like, let's say you were called in to clean a home that was just cluttered with so many things for years, and you were uncluttering this house, and then you noticed there was another section that had more stuff on it, and you had to say, oh my goodness, that little area, that's going to take much more. That's not just going to take me lifting things up. Actually, I got to lift that up, and then I got to go underneath that. And then I got to get some other tools and supplies and really dig that thing out. I mean, there are some places and spaces in your personal, professional lives that take much longer to get overcome, all that other stuff. So you've got to be willing to say, hey, I'm going to, it's interesting, because when we look at the first responders, when they're handling these COVID cases, and shout out to every first responder and those of you who are helping to heal all these people. But I was watching this documentary with Hubster yesterday, and I was looking at how the doctors were talking about how much effort it takes just for them to be able to take care of the patients, and how in other parts of the world, how they're handling this, and how they were, not only do they have to just go in and do their functions of what they do, but the preparation is so key. So there they are, putting on the regular things, putting on 2 pairs of gloves, putting on the whole body thing, including the goggles, including the face shield and everything. And I said, wow, look at that. And look at all that preparation. And some of us, in order to really get deep in some of our goals, we've got to prepare like never before. So showing up is not enough. You got to prepare. I always say it, be intentional. You got to show up for yourself, like Jim Rohn says, the way that you do for your job, right? So we can listen to all of this, and then we ask ourselves, what does this mean for me? What am I going to do today? And so I want to just encourage you that your dream and what you have been hoping is possible is possible. It's going to take a lot more effort for you to find the happy. It's going to take a lot more effort for you to find that that inner motivation that doesn't easily come all the time. That happened to me. I had to make another list when I finished that one room project, so I'm not going back and forth. Good. So preparation is key. Excuse me. Yeah. And you have to realize that there are going to be times when you fall, but just look at it like training wheels. I'm just on my training wheels, and one day I will be able to ride this bike fully, this bike of my dream. I'll be able to get out there to this other side of my goal. So I want to encourage you again. Remember, sometimes in order to surprise yourself, set that goal. Sometimes you need to step it out alone, and don't be afraid, because you can soar like an eagle. Guys, take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.